today we're gonna make some curry chicken salad wraps. It is a healthier version to, I guess, our roti friend. We get all the same goodness inside of it with a healthier wrap on the outside. So today I am going to pressure cook my curry chicken so that it comes out nice and easy to shred. And then we're gonna make a little homemade mayo. Alright, it's not gonna be an aioli because aiolis require ground garlic. This is just gonna be a mayo with curry spices inside of it. Alright? Okay, so right now we are going to pressure cook our chicken. It is the fastest and easiest way of getting our chicken soft enough to shred in a timely manner. I love pressure cookers. Like at first I used to do it in the oven or on the stove and it'd take me, so I'm going to press saute to heat up my pot, get some oil, and then get my curry blend of spices here. Once it's ready, I'm going to toss this in to roast it. That's how you bring out your aromatic flavors from your curries and get the full spice flavor profile from your curries is by roasting the curry first and then adding your proteins to it. So I have a Caribbean curry spice blend over here. I get it from my local Caribbean grocery store right across the street from me. Now that my oil is hot enough, I am going to toss this in here just to roast my curry spices a little bit. Alright, you move it around so that it doesn't burn in one spot. And you smell that curry good. Alright, you're breaking out all the aromatic flavors from your curry spice blend that you have in there. Alright, next I am going to add my homemade seasoning. It's full of, I did a blueberry ground seasoning. I did, what did I do? Garlic, onion, blueberries, some raspberries to give it some umami flavor from the spice and salt that I add in there. Alright, I don't want to add too much water, so I'm going to add a quarter of a teaspoon of water in there. Alright. Not too much at first. If I need more, I'll add more. Right now, my pressure cooker is on high. Add my chicken, and I can close my top. Alright, so this chicken has been pre-seasoned. Yes, the bone is still in there. I like it there because it doesn't dry out the meat when it's pressure cooking. I am going skin side down, and all this lovely juice that I had it marinating in is going in there as well. Alright, that is it. Make sure my curry is at the bottom. Alright, okay, so now we put on the lid. Crock pots or slow cookers, they tend to spring more water from whatever you put in. Now I am going to make the egg wash for the carrot rolls. My dough is in the fridge cooling, getting at the right temperature for me to roll it out perfectly where it's not too mushy and it's not too hard. So we crack one egg and then we're going to add a teaspoon of water to this, okay? I don't use measuring spoons, but I know it is a teaspoon, okay? Love this little whisk. It's the best little thing that I have right now. My favorite little utensil. There, real quick. In 2 tubes, I have my egg wash. Alright, so we set that to the side. Alright, my dough docker to help with the aeration of my dough. I have my flour duster, just a regular pastry brush that you use, or you can even get a workman's brush. Wash it properly, make sure it's fully dry, and then this is what I'm using to dust off the excess flour on my puff pastry dough. Then over here I have my marble rolling pin. It gives a nice even pressure and weight to it without you having to put too much shoulder strength into it and not messing up your body as you're going along. I have my seasoned currants over here. I do season them well before I am ready to use them. I have my flour over here that I'm going to be using to dust my counter with. Of course, my egg mixture, and I forgot one thing, very important, my cinnamon sugar mixture. This I make beforehand, and usually it's filled up to the top. That is, I can't even describe to you or the measurements because I always do it by scent. It is not something that I measure out. It's just something that when my nose knows it's right, it's right. So on that side, flour. So flour on the bottom, a little on the top. Put this to the side for now. I always do widthwise first, and then I go lengthwise. Alright. Make sure it's nice and even. And then I rotate 90 degrees and press out. And of course I rotate along the way to get to the perfect size that I want. So with puff pastry dough, each ounce equals about an inch of puff pastry that you can roll out. So usually my dough pieces are about 13 ounces each. So they get to be rolled out about 13 inches long and about 5 to 6 inches wide. I'm not going to add any more flour. I'm just going to flip it over, lightly dust off with my hand. I can feel that this side is a little thicker, so roll out a little more. Alright, so that's about as long as I want it because I will be pulling it as I'm rolling it. And we're going to do one more time this way. So I'm going to do one press that way, drag it back. Now I'm going to dust off. Let me put this over here. Right, all this excess flour is not needed inside the dough. I sprinkle my currants. I line the edge of the dough with egg wash. Just a little, not too much. Lay that over there. This is about a cup and a half of currants. I'm not going to use the whole thing. I'm going to use about 3/4 of a cup. Some people do like extra, and I do charge for the extra currants that I do put in their currants rolls. Alright. Don't want you to go all the way on the edge. All throughout, right? Nice and full, yes? Here comes in my magic. Begin to tuck. Alright, and we want to make sure there are currants in the end because there's a lot of people who love the ends. I want to make sure they get currants in the ends too. See how I'm stretching it as I'm pulling and tucking? Because I don't want it too puffy. I want the log to be even across the board. There's a little excess flour here. Dust that off. it's stretching out to a little bit more than 30. These were the currants at the bottom, so you get more of the sugar mixture. And they're not going to fall out in the oven. Seal. The entire batch. Then put it in the fridge, well, freezer. We're going to put them in the freezer for at least 20 minutes. That'll give me a chance to clean off my counter and put everything away. And then we're going to egg wash again right before they get covered and put in the oven. I set my oven, because it's a non-convection, to 425, and I put mine on the top shelf because I don't want the bottoms burning. Okay, so they're going to sit in the freezer for about 20 minutes while I clear off my counter, just to let the dough re-firm up and the butter won't be so melty, and it'll actually give you a nicer crunch with your puff pastry if you do that. Instead of going straight to the oven, all the butter tends to leak out because it's already warm, and it doesn't give the butter enough time to aerate the dough. Alright, so we'll be back shortly, alright? So this is the fun part. We get to make the mayo. It's going to be a bit noisy, so I'm going to tell you about the ingredients before I put it in. So we're going to have 1 large egg. We're going to have 2 tablespoons of curry powder. And I have some salt, Himalayan pink salt over here, a little coarse ground up here, because I'm going to use 2 big pinches. I always taste it before I add more salt, but I always do 2 pinches first. I have a little apple cider vinegar over here, 2 tablespoons as well. And then I have my oil in here. This is normally filled up with a cup of oil. I'm only going to use 3/4 of a cup of oil, all right? So first things first, let's open this puppy up. We're going to crack our egg. So you don't want to add too much things in here before you start the emulsification process. So we're just going to add our egg and our vinegar. Remember, that's 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You can use lemon juice if you want. You can use regular vinegar if you prefer. It just needs to be a bit of an acid in there. Alright? So while this is going, I'm going to let it get blended a little bit first, and then I'm going to start pouring my oil in my little catch up here. This little catch I really love is a tablespoon at a time. Okay, so when it's full, it's a tablespoon in here. So right now, the mayo is ready to add our seasoning to it, if you want to look at it. Yes, it's still a little loose right now, but it's still going to go for another 5 minutes. So I'm just going to put in my curry directly, my curry mixture. I have a little garam masala in here as well. So here is the final product. You see how thick it's gotten? We're going to set this aside, put this in the fridge, and we're going to attend to our chicken next, okay? my machine aside and let's go our curds rolls. We get to finish that. Alright, so second egg wash now. I cover mine with foil so that it gets a nice even bake. It bakes on the inside first and then the outside. I pull it, and then the outside later after I pull off the foil. Make sure there's enough to cover underneath. In the oven we go. My timer for 30 minutes. That's going to be the first rotation so that it gets a nice initial bake, and then I rotate it for 15 minutes, and then after that I take off the foil and let it bake for another 15 minutes so it gets a nice golden brown color. Alright. Always remember to wash your hand. I've been doing this since long before COVID started, the 20 seconds, counting, happy birthday, singing, whatever you want to do, just make sure and wash your hands. I tend to have dry hands because I'm always washing my hand. I go through paper towel. I don't know how often, but I go through enough. Just pulled the steamed chicken breast, the pressurized chicken breast out of the pressure cooker. Now we are going to, you see how soft these bones are? We're going to pull them away so that we don't have any that end up in our curry chicken salad fixings. Okay? And a little paring knife. I'm just going to pull, you see how easy that was? I'm also going to remove the skin from here. See, keeps in all that good juicy moisture. Alright, we're just going to put this on the plate to the side. Look at this, look at this. Yes, you see how nice that is? And if you want, you can either feed it to the dog or you could eat it in the back behind a cupboard so nobody see you sucking on both. Chance any bones in there. See how nice and easy that is? Just 20 minutes in your pressure cooker. So since I have some leftover lovely juices from our pressurized chicken and curry and the seasoning that I had in here, I decided to add some couscous to the pot. I'm going to add a little bit of water, but I'm of course going to now have some curried couscous to go along with the chicken salad wraps. Alright. Just a little bit of salt, not much. While our chicken is cooling, I'm going to wash and separate our bib lettuce. This is going to serve as the vehicle for our curry chicken, okay? Just light water pressure. With nice bite-sized pieces. We're going to put these to the side, let them dry off a little bit. And then we're going to come back to the chicken since it's cool enough now to add the mayo. Because my oven is about to go off. Get my little spatula. Not much. We have our curry chicken. And remember, we have to taste it to make sure that there's enough salt content. You don't want to overfill the cups. You want people to have a nice 2-bite enjoyment. So when I normally make this for my family, I add a little extra pepper sauce because they love it. So today we got to experience something old and something new within our tradition. This is my tradition. This is part of my cultural lineage. I love to share this with everybody. I get to share it now with younger students in America so that they can learn about my culture, and now you guys have experienced a newer, updated version of what we traditionally like at home. Alright, I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys try this dish. I hope you guys hit me up, send me your pictures on Instagram. Of course, at Purple Hippo Productions. Find me, send me the pictures, I will respond. Instagram is the best and easiest way of finding me and responding to anything that I put up, alright? That is a perfect cards roll. I would love to thank TTIBC for giving me this opportunity, for sharing what I love and appreciate, and I want everybody to take part in. Alright, we enjoy Trinidad. Trinidad is my home. That is where my soul resides, and I hope it is for you as well. Enjoy. Thank you again, TTIBC. Happy Independence from Chef Ron Figuera at Purple Hippo Productions.